Hey gun nuts, how you guys doing? Just wanted to talk to you about what has become one of my favorite rifles. Many of you guys know what this is already. As you can see, it's unloaded. This is the AK47. It shoots the hard-hitting, cinder block splitting 7.62 by 39 millimeter round. This is some Wolf ammo. It's 123 grain full metal jacket, steel cased. Shooting a bunch of that today. When I got the gun, it came with a polymer Magpul magazine, and also just to go with the vintageness of the gun, I picked up a old-fashioned surplus steel magazine. Look at her. God. Whew. Now I did a bunch of research on the AK-47 when I started looking for one. What happened was I went out to the range one day, and one of my neighbors had told me, he's like, "Hey man, I got an AK. You want to take it out to shoot it?" And I had never shot an AK before. So I was like, yeah. So I took the AK out, and it was actually the AK-74, which shoots a different round. I think it's the 5.45 round. So I went to YouTube and I started looking around, and I found the AK Operators Union. Those guys, awesome. I mean, they know these things front, back, up, down, and sideways. And a lot of what I know, mostly what I know, came from watching their channel. Alvin, his last name's Kalashnikov, I know that, designed this rifle. Unfortunately, he was not like Eugene Stoner, who designed the AR-15 platform. Eugene Stoner became wealthy and made some profit off of his design. This guy who designed this wonderful rifle did not profit off of his design. A lot of the world benefited from this, but he did not, financially anyway. And he recently died, if I'm not mistaken, within the last 10 years, somewhere in that time frame. So let's talk about this rifle he designed here. As you can see, it's got the wooden buttstock. Now the traditional hardcore AKs have a hole here in the buttstock where a cleaning kit goes. This one does not have it. To me, that wasn't a big deal because I usually like using bore snakes, and I got a bore snake that has a brush that's attached to the one end of the bore snake, so as you pull it through, it cleans out everything. It's got the dust cover plate. It's got standard safety, pistol grip. This is the magazine release here. It's got the outstanding bolt where you, I love that sound, man. It's like one of the loudest rifles I own, but I mean, this is great. Here you've got your sight system. This is, I believe it's called a sight leaf. Now I'll probably end up switching this out here sooner or later, but the further up or back you move this notch here is your elevation for your shots. Now the sight picture or the sight radius on this gun is pretty close. Usually like an AR is here and then back here. You can also, this is a mount for like rails. So what happens is the mount's shaped like this, and it hooks into this part here and sits over the top, and then up here on the top is where you would mount like your red dot sights or your scopes and everything like that. This AK, I wanted to try to be as authentic as possible, so I got the one. It's got the cleaning rod attachment. I do not use this. It's purely for shits and giggles and show and tell, but a lot of the AK aficionados look for this to be a part of the rifle, and I wanted it to be on mine as well. Also, I have the bayonet lug where I can attach the bayonet, and the sling mount. And also, the AKs are notorious for having the slanted muzzle brake here in the front. Yeah, I knew you were going to give me some trouble, but that's okay. Alright, so you can see here, and this helps mitigate the recoil by having the force kind of push upward as it leaves out the gun and keeping the gun leveled down. If you've never shot this round, it is a really hard hitting round, and it definitely has some kick behind it. Now I'm going to customize this gun. I call it cussing them out because I customize them. I'm going to try to stick with the flat dark earth to kind of mimic the wood, but it's going to be a Magpul Zukov folding stock, and the stock folds in this way, and it does not interfere with the action of the gun, so I can still, but it'll be a shortened down, more like a pistol type of AK where the stock folds in. Also, this part here will be a Magpul foregrip, and the this is the gas tube cover. This will be also taken off and put on the Magpul, and it'll both be in flat dark earth to match. And I'm probably gonna get the Magpul plus P plus grip in flat dark earth. I may stick with black, I'm not sure, but and I'm also gonna get a sight system to go on top here. And but right now I like it the way it looks because this is what a traditional AK looks like. So another thing I may do is just end up buying another one and customize that one. Now the Wasser 10s have, on a traditional AK or other AK, the Wasser 10s were kind of cut down there. This one's made off of a Romanian parts kit in Kugir, Romania. And other AKs you'll see a little dimple right here. Now what that dimple is meant to do, when you snap in a magazine on these Wassers, there tends to be a little bit of, well, it's not too much on this one because this is a standard magazine, but these Wassers were made to be 10-round magazines back during the Clinton ban and all that other crap. But when they let us go back to the 30-round mags, the Wassers had a lot of wobble, like back and forth, like really bad. And there were a lot of quality control issues going on with Century Arms and these things, where people were getting the sight picture down this way and the barrel was canted, you know, to one side or the other. The rivets here were either pressed in too hard or not enough. Some rivets were cracked. On the inside of the gun here, there's a block called a trunnion, and that helps to attach your buttstock, and also here and in the front there's another trunnion, and that helps to attach your barrel and so forth to the receiver. Now this one is made on a stamped receiver. Century has come out with a model called the C39V or V39C or V39C. Look it up, you'll see it. But that one's made out of a block of metal, and they mill it out with a CNC machine, and it cuts this out of a block instead of where they start off with a flat sheet of metal and they stamp it down into this shape right here. Both have particular benefits. I believe the milled receivers are a little heavier, but they say it gives you better accuracy. This one is supposed to give you better reliability. But I like the Wasser. I did a lot of looking into it. Now what they did to mitigate the wobble that you would get is they welded a little metal piece right here on the inside. Right here on the inside of the gun, there's a little metal piece welded right there, and on the other side, and that's what got rid of that magazine wobble. But let's go ahead and get into the guts of this thing, and I can tell you why these things have that reliability that's just ridiculous. Okay, now this housing here, standard housing shield, you can hear that's pretty good metal, solid and sturdy. Now inside the AK, and if you can imagine this housing on the inside, or this housing cover like this, it's pretty open on the inside of the gun. So versus like an AR-15 where there's tight channels, everything slides back and forth in a tight channel, and there's no room for anything to move around in there unless they get jammed up. This gun is left open to where debris and dust and crap can fall out of the gun or work its way loose and not jam up the action of the gun. Now this here is that back trunnion I was telling you about, where your buttstock and also this recoil spring. Pull that out. That's your recoil spring and sort of like your guide rod. It's broken into a two-piece type system. Okay. And this is your bolt and also your piston rod. Now the way an AK works, typically AR-15s are gas-driven guns, so when the bullet goes down to a certain point in the barrel, the gas that's burning behind the bullet, pushing it out, will go up into a tube and shoot back, and it'll press up against the bolt carrier group and push the bolt carrier group backwards by gas. And that'll let your magazine feed up the next round when the bolt carrier comes sliding back forward, because it hit up against the buffer tube and the buffer spring. It'll slide that next round back into the chamber so you can repeat the firing process. With this gun, what happens is you fire a round, the bullet goes out the barrel, the gas behind it comes up and it hits this piston. This piston is what actually gets pushed backwards. The next round comes up, that spring here makes your recoil process happen and slams this bolt back home, and that next round is fed up from the magazine and slammed into the barrel to repeat the firing process. So that's kind of how this gun works in a nutshell. As you can see on my fingers, it's pretty dirty. I need to clean it. Now this is your bolt carrier here and your bolt and firing pin. And it's got like a cam lock channel type system. As you can see there, it kind of rotates back and forth. Alright, now watch this make me look like a fool trying to get it separated and out of the gun again. There we go. And then your extractor claw is right here. And put you to work. Your extractor claw is right there. That's what grabs onto the bullet case and pulls that backwards out of the gun. See how that holds it? And then your firing pin, you can probably see it right there, just dropped down a little bit. But anywho, I'm gonna get it open for you guys, so bear with me. There we go. And this is my go-to gun if shit hits the fan, the zombies come, or anything crazy happens where I need a gun that's gonna function. Like I said before in my EDC video, if we happen to have to run into the woods because of a natural disaster and have to live off the woods, this is probably going to be, if I take a rifle, this is going to be the rifle that's going to go with me. This here's your gas tube, and this is what this bolt here rides on the inside. Now here's your barrel on the inside of the gun. So when that bullet goes down there, it comes to this point right here. There's a hole right there in the barrel. That hot gas comes up and hits that bolt and it slams it backwards. That's kind of why you get that kind of heavy recoil. This is a very, very powerful round, but also this thing is pretty heavy, and this thing coming slamming back into your shoulder is not a joke. So it rides it backwards and repeats the whole process for you. Gonna try to put her back together for you guys. I don't know how much of that you can see, but that's a general quick breakdown of what your AK is looking like and what you want to clean when you take them apart. They're not complex to the point where you need to worry about them too much. Now I've heard this is a pain in the ass to get this wooden part off of the gas tube, this cover, but it's gonna have to come off because I'm gonna put that mag pull part on there. And I'll definitely, if you guys want, man, I can do a video of when I'm actually changing all the parts out and everything, and let you guys kind of join me in the process of that. I know somebody out there in YouTube land is going to have a fit that I did this that way, because I don't want that shit. My gun, I'll do it. So, there we go. That's locked back in place. Alright. So that is the Wasser 10. Now, out there in the AK land, there are Wasser 10s, like this one. There's some things you can look at in the serial number, and I did check to make sure that the serial number on the bolt carrier, the bolt, the receiver, the barrel, they all match. So if you know something about AKs, you know that that was a problem that they were having in the quality control process with the Wassers, is that sometimes you were getting intermatched parts. You might get a barrel with one serial number, a bolt carrier with another serial number, and it was a mess. But all of mine matched. They're all the same. So I got lucky. And plus I bought this in 2016, right at the end of the year. It's all lining up as it should be. I'll try to do this for you guys so you can see how it fits back together. And you have to bring it back, and you have to make sure that that bolt is in that cam system there. And there we go. Hey, look at that. It's only because you guys are watching that it actually behaved for me. But other than that, it would have been making me look really stupid. I love that sound. I think the guy's name is Rob over there at the AK Operators Union. Yeah, they do a very comprehensive breakdown of this rifle. Even more in depth than I got here tonight with you guys. And I'm just, you know, I still consider myself a novice with this rifle. As you can tell, the dust cover is giving me hell. And I guess the reason why I chose the Wasser is because I believe they ran about 10,000 rounds through this gun. And Rob referred to this gun as a horny whore on payday, which means she'll just do anything and eat everything. And they put these guns through some serious tests. I mean, running them over, throwing them in water. They do push-ups on the gun. They hang it from a tree. They hang it from a tree and actually try and use it to do pull-ups with. He also shoots it at certain yardage to make sure that it stays accurate. He shoots all kinds of ammo through them to make sure that they feed everything. And like he does stuff to these guns that I'll probably never ever get to do to any of my guns, as far as testing and everything like that. Hey, look at that, it went on. So yeah, this is the Wasser 10 AK47. I think I got a lot of questions about this gun because I was at the range and I was doing a review on my Taurus PT-111 G2 9mm. And I brought my AK along, and I did not plan on shooting it. I just wanted it laying in the background as, you know, showing off. And I decided to go ahead and throw a magazine down the range real quick, and a lot of feedback on social media about this gun, and I had told the guys, hey, you know what, I'll do a what's it all about segment where I kind of break the gun down and talk about it a little bit. So that's what I'm doing here for you guys tonight. Please leave me some comments. Let me know what you think about the Wassers. I think it's a damn good rifle. So yeah, this is my AK day, and got my AK shirt on to commemorate this rifle. Let me see if the hardest part for me tonight was getting this stupid cleaning rod back in place. See if I can get that back in there while I'm on camera with you guys. But as usual, you know, I asked you guys to damn, look at that. Only because you guys are watching it, it all behaved for me tonight. If you guys would like, subscribe, comment, share my videos on your Facebook, your YouTube, your Instagram, whatever. And let me know what you think about the Wasser 10 or any of the other OPAPs, MPAPs, RAS, AKs, and any other manufacturers of the AK besides Century Arms, which is where I got this one from. Oh, by the way, I got this at a gun show right around mid-December, and I paid $603 or $609 for it before taxes. So I thought that was a very good price for the gun. It's a lot of fun to shoot, and it's great. So thank you guys again. Make sure that you are supporting the NRA and becoming a member of the NRA. Stay focused on supporting the Second Amendment, and God bless you.